Good day to sir. My name is Chanjing Mei, metric number 2X6596. Now I'm going to start my presentation by introduce the two models that we have. One is item and one is user. First, let us see the user models. Okay, the user class and its methods are typically used for serialization and deserialization of user objects. For example, when retrieving the data from API, the JSON response can be converted into an instance of the user class using the user from JSON method. Similarly, when we want to send the data to API, an instance of the user class can be converted to a JSON object using the toJSON method. This allows for easy manipulation and transfer of user data in a structured format. Okay, same also the item. Like the item class. Item class also can be converted to a JSON object using the toJSON method. So allows us easy to manipulation and transfer the data in a structured format. Next, I'm going to explain about the insert item screen. Okay, in this section, we import the necessary libraries from the Flutter application, such as the first one, to asynchronous operations. The convert is for encoding and decoding JSON data, and the .io for working with files. You can see here is for the image. Okay, so for this one is the insert item screen. That extends the stateful widget class. It takes a user object as the parameter, which represents the user who is inserting the item. So, okay, for here, insert item screen stat. Okay, is represent the stat for the insert item screen widget. Inside this class, we create several text editing controller objects to manage the text fields for items name, description, price, quantity, current state, and locality. And additionally, we declare a nullable file variable image to hold the exact image file. The init, okay, for here, the init state method is overriding to call the determine position function when the widget is created. This function contains the code to determine the user current position using the geolocation. And next is the build method is overridden to build the UI components for the insert item screen widget. It returns a scaffold widget with an add bar and a column as its body. Within the body, we have two main sections. One is the image selection and the form section. The image selection displays either a default image or the selected image after they choose. If use a ternary operator to check whether image is null and displays the appropriate image widget accordingly. Below the image section, there is the raise button. Label select image that triggers on and press callback. You will need to add the appropriate code to open the gallery and select an image. Okay, next is the text form field. Okay, the form section contains several text form fields, widgets, each representing an info field for item name, description, price, quantity, current state, and also the locality. We assign the respective text editing controller objects to each field using the controller property. Each text form field also includes a declaration property to provide a label for the input field. So I can add. Next is the um, next for the determine position function is responsible for determining the user's current position using the geolocation. Okay, it first checks if the location service is enabled on the service on the device by calling geolocator is location service enabled. It is disabled, it returns a further filter arrow with the message location service as disabled. Next, it checks the location permission status by calling geolocator check permission. If the permission is denied, it will request the permission by calling geolocator request permission. Okay, if the permission is still denied, it returns filter error if the message location permission are denied. So finally, if the permission is granted, it retrieves the current position using the geolocator get current position. The obtained position is stored in the current position variable. Okay, next is get address. Okay, the get address position post here function is used to retrieve the address information, locality, and administrative area based on the given position. So at first, it takes the position for object post as a parameter, which represents the latitude and longitude of a location. Inside the function, it calls place mark from coordinates with the latitude and longitude values to retrieve a list of place mark objects. A place mark object represents a geographic description of a location. If the list of place marks is empty or no results were found, it sets default values for the locality, administrative area, latitude, and also the longitude. If there is at least one place mark, it extracts the locality and administrative area from the first place mark and sets them as the test values for the corresponding test editing the controllers. So finally, close set that to update the UI and reflect the change made to the test editing controllers. Okay, these two, the get address and the permission and the determine position is likely part of a large code space, and they might be called from other parts of the code to handle geolocation related tasks. Okay, so next is the seller data screen, which will extend the step widget class indicating that it has met a state. The widget has two required parameters. One is the user and one is the items. Okay, the view method is overridden to build the UI for the screen. The screen layout consists of a column widget that contains multiple chart widgets. The children are arranged vertically, and the first child in the column is a card widget wrapped in a padding widget. It displays an image of the seller items. The image is loaded from a URL using the cache network image widget from the cache network image package. Below the image, there is the text widget that displays the name of the items. The remaining details about the item are displayed in a table widget. The table has multiple rows, each represented by a table row widget, which row consists of two table cells. which one of one for the label and one for the corresponding value. The values for the item's description, like the item type, item quantity, available price, and also the location, are obtained from the widget of the item object, which is an instance of the item class. The location is displayed as a combination of a locality and state properties of the which user uh, object. So overall, this code defines a screen that displays details about a seller and their items. The UI is structured using various Flutter widgets to create a visually appearing and information layout. So that's all for me. Thank you for listening.